morning. This week's Sunday morning message will be out of the book of Proverbs, chapter 15. So this continues a long string of Proverbs, short, general case expressions of common sense wisdom. A large section of these began in Proverbs chapter 10 and continues through Proverbs chapter 22, verse 16. A soft answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. The tongue of the wise uses knowledge rightly, but the mouth of fools pours forth foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, keeping watch on the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness in it breaks the spirit. A fool despises his father's instruction, but he who receives correction is prudent. Solomon begins with several statements commending self-control, cautious, soft, gentle answers. They not only prevent additional strife, they reduce whatever tension that already exists. A wise person carefully chooses their response instead of babbling whatever comes to mind. Closely connected to this is the need to humbly accept correction. A cool temper refuses to fight fire with fire. The wise person answers gently, and that gentleness extinguishes that fire. At the very least, it gives no more fuel for the fire to burn. A calm, polite response can take a great deal of tension out of an argument. This response calls for wisdom, thoughtfulness, concern for the other person, and self-discipline. In Romans chapter 12, 19 through 20, it tells us not to avenge ourselves, but to know the Lord will repay the wrong. The believer's responsibility is to show kindness to the enemy. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. Romans 12:21. Some advice I heard one time was to respond with, you know what? God bless you. Now, avoid sounding sarcastic and try to be genuine when you say that. There is no need to be a fool and to be quick to anger. It's not good for you to be angry, both spiritually and physically. In the house of the righteous, there is much treasure, but in the revenue of the wicked is trouble. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the fool does not do so. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but he loves him who follows righteousness. Harsh discipline is for him who forsakes the way, and he who hates correction will die. Hell and destruction are before the Lord. So how much more the hearts of the sons of men? A scoffer does not love one who corrects him, nor will he go to the wise. Next are several contrasts. These compare the righteous with the wicked, using the parallel ideas of those who are wise and those who are foolish. These proverbs echo themes such as the life-giving nature of godly wisdom, the disastrous consequences of sin, the importance of humility, and the value of seeking advice. Solomon continues a common theme in the book of Proverbs, that fools are those who refuse to be corrected with truth. The Hebrew root word lutz suggests someone arrogant or sneering, Proverbs chapter 9, verse 7 through 8, and chapter 13, verse 1. Such derisive persons don't want to be corrected and deliberately avoid those with godly wisdom. This harmonizes with Solomon's earlier statement. Nothing that fools, meaning those who reject godly truth, Proverbs 1:7, gush with foolish statements, while the wise are trying to give a careful answer, Proverbs 15:2. In Paul's second letter to Timothy, he commanded the preaching of God's word, as well as a reproof and rebuke, 2 Timothy 4:2. These last two ideas both refer to correcting others in spiritual error. Paul also warned Timothy that people would soon abandon truth in favor of lies that match their preferences. 2 Timothy chapter 4, 3-4. Some people today who claim the name of Christ refuse to listen to what they need to hear. They only accept what they want to hear. Such persons are mocking God and refuse to learn from the wise. The scoffer refuses to examine his heart and correct the wrong that lurks there. Nevertheless, the Lord searches the heart and judges the unrepentant. Hebrews chapter 4, verse 13. A merry heart makes a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken. The heart of him who has understanding seeks knowledge, but the mouth of fools feeds on foolishness. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he who is of a merry heart has a continual feast. Better is a little with the fear of the Lord than great treasure with trouble. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a fatted calf with hatred. A wrathful man stirs up strife, but he who is slow to anger allays contention. The way of the lazy man is like a hedge of thorns, but the way of the upright is a highway. A wise son makes a father glad, but a foolish man despises his mother. Folly is joy to him who is destitute of discernment, but a man of understanding walks uprightly. Without counsel, plans go awry, but in the multitude of counselors they are established. A man has joy by the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season. How good it is! The way of life winds upward for the wise, that he may turn away from hell below. The Lord will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the boundary of the widow. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant. He who is greedy for gain troubles his own house, but he who hates bribes will live. The heart of the righteous studies how to answer, but the mouth of the wicked pours forth evil. The Lord is far from the wicked, but hears the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoices the heart, and a good report makes the bones healthy. The ear that hears the rebukes of life will abide among the wise. He who disdains instruction despises his own soul, but he who heeds rebuke gets understanding. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. The majority of this chapter is made up of individual segments of wisdom, with a few repeating themes. Solomon notes the importance of perspective, which is more influential than wealth when it comes to happiness. Careful planning, seeking advice, hard work, and righteousness are all commended. Laziness, impatience, arrogance, and hypocrisy are condemned. The chapter ends with 3 proverbs echoing the recurring theme that sensible persons listen to godly wisdom. And this only comes through a reverent honor of God. Thank you for watching. Next week we'll be continuing out of the book of Proverbs with chapter 16. God bless.